reports here I want to get to about how close we are to the cashless society and how that's going to be used to shut down the grassroots community infrastructure even more and only allow big box stores to operate. Government regulations and systems are going to try to shut down small operators online as well. That's why they're going after farmers, ranchers, anything small, anything independent. Speaking of that, I've read over the new Michigan regulations on livestock, and all heritage breed pigs that have any type of dark hair or red hair, just because they look like what any breed of pig reverts to once it's gone wild, they're going to kill all the pigs in Michigan. And I know all about pigs from a farming and ranching family. And I also go to the livestock shows with my children. I mean, the pigs I saw at the Texas Austin Rodeo would have all been killed under this. Confirmed Michigan pig ban will eliminate all heritage breeds, destroy thousands of small farms, and they get to charge the people with felonies. If they, and I read this on the air the other day, it says any characteristic or characteristic not recognized by science as being attached to feral. It says just anybody we want, you know, any farm, any pig, it doesn't matter. We will come on your property, kill it, and charge you criminally. People are like, but that doesn't make any sense. They don't care. The public's worried about feral hogs that have gotten out and bred. Instead of killing those, it's we're going to go after people that have pigs that could get out. It's a psycho government. I mean, it's so over the top. People are like, this doesn't make sense. Yeah, it does. It's hands down your pants one day, arrest people, eliminate stands the next, no gardens the next, and it's all being announced. We have a government that basically is trying to do everything that Joseph Stalin did. As many natural news readers now know, this article's up at Infowars.com or naturalnews.com, the state of Michigan's Department of Natural Resources, DNR, recently issued a final ruling, a ruling. They rule us, not law. The agency rules you. On its invasive species order, ISO, for swine that targets destructive feral. See, the UN has always said that's how they're going to ban cats, dogs, cows they call invasive. See, that's the rest of the story. They said, how are we going to shut down family farms? We're going to say all of this is unnatural and bad to the environment and try to go back to the way North America was or Europe was pre-domesticated animals. You think I'm joking? Like 10 years ago telling you the bioethics board said they want to kill babies up to age 3. Now it's mainstream news. Okay? This is, you go read it for yourself. That's the plan. In fact, type in animal rights group wants to ban owning cats and dogs. I mean, it'll be, or wants to ban farm animals as invasive species. I mean, and Europe is looking at this. This isn't a game. As many natural news readers now know, the state of Michigan's Department of Natural Resources recently issued a final ruling on its invasive species order, ISO, for swine that targets destructive feral species. Not feral hogs that are just the regular pig, different variants like dogs. It's like saying, you know, this is like saying your German Shepherd, because it's related to wolves, has to be killed. That's exactly what this is. Or your poodle. And it's meant to selectively harass the farmers. And see, big pork production are the ones in all 50 states, just like they banned real milk 60 years ago nationwide. Well, they banned it from stores. First, they just got it regulated. Then they started getting it banned so they could feed you boiled, cooked, so-called milk that was filled with pus and feces. See, when it's raw, fresh milk, there can't be any contamination, or they can't get away with it. So they just get rid of real milk so the counterfeit can come in. And now Big Agra, by the way, they're coming out saying invasive chickens. Your chickens roost in trees, come up to your house, get fed, you take eggs, you sell them. They don't want chickens out in the open. They can start roosting. Oh, I forgot. Let me give Natural News a tip to do another big report. They're coming after all different types of game hens and things, including pheasants. They're saying they don't want those released. And it just goes on here. Anything that has red or black hair or spots of hair or anything else, they say. I mean, they say anything we wish. I mean, you can go read it for yourself. It just says any pig we say, even if it's not in the scientific literature, that's a sign of being feral. It's dead. So it's feral species. Folks, that feral species of pig is the domesticated pig. Let me just finish up with this article on the pigs, and then I'm going to get into government-run health care, and the Supreme Court set to rule today, but they're going to keep it secret until June. This is something that's going to cost trillions of dollars a year. Some estimates have it upwards of $2 trillion. This is one of the biggest issues ever, and they're going to keep it secret until June while they write their opinion. You better believe government and industry are going to know, and something this big is going to leak. And again, folks thought they weren't going to pass the Health Care Act. And Paul said they've got the votes in the House months before. He said, I think it's going to pass. And then he said last week that, unfortunately, he's hearing rumblings that they're probably going to rule for it. And I saw a bunch of articles getting conservatives ready for that. And then we saw the articles saying that the Supreme Court's going to go against it and that they sounded like they weren't buying it in the oral arguments a few days ago. And I read the transcripts of the audio tapes the Supreme Court released, which is unprecedented. And it's all the points we'd make. If the government can make you do this, they can make you eat broccoli. If the government can make you buy somebody's product and then selectively give waivers to groups that they are friends with, that's total discrimination. All right, I'm going to get to that in a minute. If you think I'm joking about this feral hog thing, that's like saying we have a problem with coyotes. So we're going to come by your neighborhood and any dog that looks anything like a coyote we're going to kill in your house. And then you read the description and they say it's anything. It's a dog with curly hair. It's a little dog. It's a big dog. That's what they say in the descriptions. They're not saying we're going to kill feral hogs. We're going to have an eradication program and get the citizens together and explain to citizens, because a lot of people, even people that hunt, don't think you can shoot these pigs. And they ask, is there a season and all this idiocy? There's no season on an invasive species that does eat the baby deer, that does tear up your farms, your crops. I mean, they're devastating. A group of 100 feral hogs will come through your field and just wreck everything. Even if they're not eating the crop you're growing, say cotton, like bulldozers with their snouts and tusk, they just turn everything over. And any pig in a year or so out in the wild starts growing tusk. It's the rooting that stimulates the teeth. And hair starts growing and all the rest of it. Just like if you went out and lived in the wild for a couple of years, you'd look like Grizzly Adams. Your skin would get thicker. You'd get a big old beard, long hair. You'd get tougher. And this is such an example of the craziness of government, is why I'm getting into it, that they're saying, we're going to come to your farm, and if there's any characteristic, such as black or red hair, or any other sign that it could be connected to these feral varieties, we're going to kill them on the spot with rifles. Go read it. We have links to it. This is a ruling, and we're going to arrest you and charge you with felony crimes. And the farming groups and everybody are like, are you crazy? Let me read you some of this. Contrary to some of the claims currently spreading across the internet and elsewhere, DNR ISO does not simply target feral breeds responsible for destroying crops or forests. As we pointed out in a recent article on the matter, the ISO brands certain hair colors, fur types, tails, skeletal structures, and various other characteristics as being indicators of feral breed. Again, it's the same as a pig, but they call it a breed, like with dogs. Even though these descriptions also identify many heritage breeds that have been raised in Michigan for many decades. Well, yeah, and they say in the ruling they're going to come to your property, and if you have them, they're going to put fines on you or arrest you. So it's just a new way for the whole military-industrial complex that ships the drugs in so they can then catch people selling them, because making it illegal has huge profits associated. And then next, it's your aloe vera plantation. They're going to say that's a drug. And next, you can't grow hemp that doesn't even have THC in it for cotton, hemp fabric. And then next, oh, you can't have a garden. And then next, on and on. Now they move on to you got to have animal ID, premises ID. You got to have inspections. You got to have the rural affairs do this. Certain hair colors, fur types, tails, skeletal structures, and various other characteristics as being indicators of a feral breed. Even though these descriptions also identify many heritage breeds that have been raised in Michigan for decades. In other words, there is nothing sensational or overblown about the claims made that the state of Michigan has basically declared war on all pig breeds, despite the select few raised by large-scale factory farms. The DNR's approach to the situation is beyond misguided. It is blatantly unscientific, an assault on small-scale pig farmers across the state of Michigan, many of which face being completely put out of business. The DNR's thinking is irrational, writes Senator Darwin L. Boer from Michigan's 35th District in a recent article on the issue. The department says that we must ban certain pigs because the state has a feral hog problem. And see, the public is so dumb that when they hear, well, of course we got to kill the feral pigs. Yeah, I've shot plenty of them myself. Instead of that, they're saying we're going to go after and start inspecting your breed. As if you're the people causing this. Pigs have just been getting out for hundreds of years. And the wolves and other predators have been culled too far back, so nothing's keeping the pigs down. And when you drive down the highway and see them all over Texas now, sometimes you see more pigs than deer on the side of the road. Nobody's shooting them. And it goes on. The department says we must ban certain pigs because the state has a feral hog problem. Pigs running at large or outside a fence. But since all pigs outside of a fence are feral and the DNR cannot genetically differentiate between swine, the department decided to ban certain pigs in Michigan simply due to their appearance. So they have a new way to harass you. And it just goes on to say, the senator says there's a way to harass and arrest people and make money. Yep, here they come. They're never backing off. They're never stopping. There's always something new they can make illegal. And they're already talking about not letting you have free-range chickens because they might get out. They might go and take biosphere from some other animal. The new Michigan regulations on livestock and all heritage breed pigs that have any type of dark hair or red hair, just because they look like what any breed of pig reverts to once it's gone wild, they're going to kill all the pigs in Michigan. And I know all about pigs from a farming and ranching family. And I also go to the livestock shows with my children. I mean, the pigs I saw at the Texas Austin Rodeo would have all been killed under this. Confirmed Michigan pig ban will eliminate all heritage breeds, destroy thousands of small farms, and they get to charge the people with community infrastructure even more and only allow big box stores to operate. Government regulations and systems are going to try to shut down small operators online as well. That's why they're going after farmers, ranchers, anything small, anything independent. Speaking of that, I've read over felonies. If they and I read this on the air the other day, it says any characteristic or characteristic not recognized by science as being attached to feral It says just anybody we want, any farm, any pig, it doesn't matter. We will come on your property, kill it, and got some reports here I want to get to about how close we are to the cashless society and how that's going to be used to shut down the grassroots